So I was after work. I decided to stop at Lowe's, see what they had. I decided to pick this up. It's a piece of vinyl that's flooring, I think, or siding. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's flooring because I found it in the section with like the tiles and stuff. But this is obviously it's wood texture, and it's sticky on the back if you'll notice. So that's definitely going to help me out. What I'm planning on doing is running my utility knife like in slight, well, basically cutting thin strips and then using them as like the trim around like a window or something for displays. Like for instance, this is going to be on the JWF WarZone arena entryway. I'm going to have that broken window. This thing right here cost like $1.06. What's also cool is they have like floor tiles that look like cement that are like 12 by 12 and like, or they're like concrete or whatever, like kind of stone. So if you wanted to just do a display with like a base like that, you could just buy that for $1.50 or whatever it is. Anyway, I'm running late. I got a lunch. What you're looking at here is a piece of cardboard with a hole cut in the middle. You'll see why. For now, I'm going to show you that I spray painted the back side of it. I made it look like stone. This is just a couple coats of gray spray paint with a little quick spray of black over it, and then I used that textured stone paint that I've used several times. You've seen it, if you pay attention to other videos, you've seen it in the Bat Cave up there, Mortal Kombat in the pit up there. I use this all the freaking time. But this is just basically going to be, well, I'll show you. You'll see. Also, what I got was, well, I showed this off already. This is just a foam board. Everybody knows, like obviously I tore into that. Everybody knows what these things are. You can get them cheap, $2 at Walmart or dollar stores or whatever. I don't know. Alright, so you can see I cut the chunk out of the foam board here. And I was doing some work on it. You'll notice when when you look at my brick pattern things, I added a little bit more like texture here and here. And like right there, obviously. The reason for that is because the way that I did my concrete, I wanted it to look like, obviously, like pieces were broken and destroyed. And I don't know if you can pick up the detail. Oh, somebody's texting me. With the cracks and stuff. You can probably see it pretty well, actually. But the way this is designed is so that this is going to get glued over top of this, like that. And then, so if you look at it, it just looks like a destroyed front of a building. And, you know, obviously the same thing would happen over here on this side. This side is actually more detailed because I had to go farther over with the brick because I cut it too short, but whatever, it's still, I think it looks good. Now getting back to this, what we got here is, you know, I showed this earlier, this is going to be like the window face, kind of. And that's going to actually be below that. So obviously, if you're looking at it straight on, this would be like what the set looks like upright. And you know, so I'm going to have my window in there. It's probably going to be a broken window, and that's what we bought that thing for earlier, because I can cut strips of that and put it around the frame of the window, so it could just kind of, you know, look more realistic. I'm also going to have a roof up top, just for, you know, authenticity's sake. I've got these smaller strips of the green foam that I cut. They're going to be put, like, on the edges, so to speak, the top and bottom edge, so that it looks you know, more authentic, I guess. And off to the sides, I'm going to have like the signs and the advertisements and whatever. That's basically just going to be the only element that actually looks like a real, like, arena. And maybe in front, too. I haven't decided yet. For scale purposes, this is how big it is compared to a Mattel action figure. Kane is actually on the bigger side of the Mattel line. And you can tell he fits under there without a problem. Let me grab Daniel Bryan's short. So this is how it would be with a shorter figure. Not bad as far as scale-wise, height. I think it's going to be a pretty cool arena once it all gets painted. Obviously the brick pattern is going to be painted like a brick color, you know, just because that makes sense. This, I'm going to try and match the color of that. We're going to see what I can do with this. I'm thinking it'll be a gray, concrete-ish color because, you know, I want it to be as close to that as possible. But, and then the roof, I have a feeling is probably going to be, I haven't decided if I'm going to go with a gray roof or a brick colored roof. I don't know. I still got a bunch of stuff to figure out, but basically that's it. That's the work in progress so far. I think it's turning out pretty good. Alright, so picking up where we left off, I have since put a coat of black spray paint over top and went over that with a really, really thin like layer, like a quick spray of there's this textured rock spray paint. I've shown it in some other videos I use, but you can see that it has like the almost like little rock feeling texture gradient things in there. I don't know what I would even call them, but it gives a nice like brick texture to it. And then going over here, you can see that the cardboard, well, not the cardboard, the part that's supposed to look like concrete, I've like made all my digs in it and everything, and I've spray painted that with a gray, and then went over that again with that same stone paint. It gives it a different shade to it. And plus, when you layer them up like this, it looks like a part of the wall has been blown out. Basically the same, you know, as I showed you before, except just it's in color. Now the idea is you go over this with a red paint to get the brick color, and then you wind up with something that looks like this. It's, you know, I just went over obviously the spots that are going to show through, but that way it looks like the destroyed wall, the brick building, everything about it looks, you know, a lot better than just the black, in my opinion. Also, for this side, I put a wash, black wash, which is basically just really like watered down black paint, and I filled in all the cracks, and then just basically you paint inside the cracks, let it sit for like 10 or 15 seconds, then you wipe it off with like a paper towel or something, just enough to discolor it a little bit and get the cracks all filled in so that it looks dirty and dingy, and like, you know, like a wall that's been blown up. For the wash and for the bricks, I use these little paints here. They're just like $1 at Walmart or whatever it is, $2. Apple Barrel, whatever it is. And, well, Folk Art. So basically these are different brands, but they're pretty much identical. With this, what you do is, what I do anyways, I just dip it in, like, pretty much wipe off all of the paint, you know, on the brush, leaving just that little bit. And then I paint over, like, thin, like, very, very thin layer on this, and that's all you really need, because it still shows the texture underneath. It still shows the you know, some of the black still shows through between the cracks, and even in between like some of the paint. You can see it's not applied like evenly, because it looks like brick, and you know, brick often isn't colored like the entire way through. So I don't know, I think it looks tight, and I'm gonna keep building this arena, and we'll continue the progress. So here she is, all painted up, looking sexy as hell. Let's have a look at some of the details I've done since I fully assembled this. Let's get the light on actually first. You can see the window strips that I cut. This one kind of falls off a little bit. I gotta glue that down or something. But the window I made broken. That's just like the packaging from a figure, like just the front of any action figure card. You can just cut in whatever shape you want. I added the window trim there. Made these bricks match up with the, you know, the ones from the main display part here. I added the logo up top, and I did wind up going with the gray. I just carved these out of a piece of the green foam, just, you know, painted it up black and gray. Well, with a layer of black, and then I went over it with a layer of gray. These little bits of trim are just like cardstock, basically just thick paper that I folded to go along that, and then I spray painted it silver. So, you know, that way it gives the illusion of some kind of a building. On the side here, I've got, you know, my sponsors. Nothing too major. You can see it's just a piece of cardboard. I'm propping this up with a Pringles can, by the way. But I just drew out, you know, whatever my sponsors would be, and that's how I, you know, get away with making this into a wrestling arena rather than just a straight building. Which is cool, by the way. If you wanted to remove that sign and these things on the side, it would just look like a building front, and you could use it for like superhero displays or whatever you want. Then on this side I just wrote WarZone, because I figured most times it'd be like from this angle if you saw it, or from over here, so you won't even really see that. For scale purposes, here's Chris Jericho, the custom I made for one night only. And you can see, it fits right in. Looks like a pretty cool arena. So you'll be seeing this on WarZone, or if I don't get this video done, you will have already seen it on WarZone. But so yeah, thanks for checking this out. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you didn't learn anything from me, chances are you will learn something about this if you go check out those other channels I mentioned in the first video. That's Lunkermouth, JD Meggs, and AJ Frost. I'll link them again down below, because those are the three guys whose channels I was watching a lot of time to get inspiration for this kind of thing. Well, okay, this is the Captain bidding you farewell. Oh yeah, and watch WarZone when it comes out too, because it's going to be tight.